of the country later on. So let's have a brief overview of the situation in the country. The statistics from the Minister of Petroleum are very clear. The primary energy mix, that is the fuels which are used in the country for all kinds of applications, is highly concentrated on basically two fuels, gas and fuel oil, the famous mazut, which are accounting for 96% of the fuel utilization in the country, which compares to 61% worldwide. So you have on the left side the chart showing the Egyptian mix, and on the right side the mix, the average mix in the world, where you see that you have, beside the 61% of gas and fuel, you have the other energy mix coming from nuclear, coming from hydro, renewable, and coming from coal. If you look into power generation, which is only one of the consumer of primary energy in the country, you find the same picture. It consumes overall 40% of all the primary energy in the country, 50% if you exclude transportation, that is if you exclude the gasoline, basically. And it is heavily dependent from gas and fuel, 91%, versus 27% worldwide. So the gap is even wider if you look at power generation. And here again, you have the same on the left side, the Egyptian mix, on the right side, the average for the world, where you see the importance of nuclear, coal, and renewable in the different colors. And according to the Minister of Petroleum himself, this fuel mix in the country is unsecure, uneconomic, and unsustainable. I will not develop each of these points, but these are his statements, and this is the basics that basically led earlier this year the cabinet to stand up and to say we cannot continue with this narrow energy mix, and we have to open up for flexibility, and we have to add additional fuels to the Egypt fuel mix. And it is actually, this unsecure, unsustainable, and economic. The current shortage of gas and oil is transforming Egypt from a net exporter up until 2012 to a net importer of energy. And you see on the left side the net exports for oil products, so exporting crude and importing refined fuels, and on the right-hand side for the gas, which used to be through 2012 exporting gas, and since last year and continuing this year, no more exports, and not yet imports in spite of the needs, because there is not the logistical facilities to import gas. No pipeline and no regasification unit for the liquid gas. So this domestic gas and oil shortage, and it will be once again more developed by Mr. Abu Bakr when he comes, is expected to last as the energy consumption in the country continues to increase, and the new potential resources will take time before they materialize and before they improve the local production. So with that, the cabinet has set up ambitious targets for a different energy mix, starting with renewable power, nuclear, but also, because it will not be sufficient, there is no single solution to the issue. So the diversification is the key. So also diversification that should include the different energy that are available worldwide, including the coal, including petcoke, including the renewable, obviously, and then nuclear. So you see this 2025 targets from the Ministry of Petroleum, and what can be available also. This on the left-hand side, it is the power generation, and on the right side, it is the overall consumption, where you see that the weight of energies which are non-gas and non-fuel to develop their share in an active way, including renewable. So, in this picture, in this big picture, the cement industry is part of the problem because it is a heavy consumer of energy, but it's even more part of the solution, and I will try to develop those points. It's part of the problem because the industry is consuming 6% of the gas that is consumed in Egypt, 25% of the heavy fuel oil, even more recently, and 4% of the power generated in the country. And as a result of the shortage of energy, the plants have been heavily impacted. They are running with low capacity utilization, and we have basically a commitment to the market, to our customers, and what we cannot make, what we cannot manufacture here in Egypt, because we don't have the energy to do so, we are importing. And we are importing clinker, which is the raw material behind the cement. And this has driven a lot of negative consequences, starting with the cost of doing this. So what are the solutions that we can bring as an industry? We have worldwide an extensive experience, and we have a good technology to use other kind of energy than gas and fuel oil. Actually, Egypt is one of the few countries where the cement industry is using gas and mazout. In most of the other countries, we are using alternative fuels, petroleum, coke, and coal as the main sources for energy. So we know how to use these energies in a controlled and in a safe way. We know how to recycle waste into energy. And one thing that is not always highlighted when we speak about the energy issue, it's not all about the fuel mix. It's also about how much energy we consume. And we as an industry, we believe that there is also room for progress in this direction. And beyond the cement industry, there is a whole lot that the country can do in terms of reducing the energy intensity of its economy. So let's look into the cement industry. So just some critical numbers that can help you. We need to make cement around 4 million BTU, 4.2 million BTU, for every ton of cement manufactured. 3 are coming from the combustion, so 3 are coming from cooking the limestone, and 1 million BTU is needed to manufacture, to generate the power that we need to grind the limestone and the clinker. So 2 kinds of energy, combustion on one side and electricity on the other. They are not interchangeable. So 3 for the 3 million BTU per ton on the combustible side, and 1. And the 1 is basically including the efficiency for making the power. So this is one of really the quantity of primary energy that is needed to manufacture, to generate the power through gas or through mazout.
Okay, if we could close the doors, please. If we could close the doors, thank you. There are simultaneous translation headsets available. So if you wish to get a copy, if you haven't got one and you want to get one, then they're available at the door if you need them. Can we just take our seats? If you could come in as quickly as possible and take your seats, that would be great. Sabakia. Good morning, Your Excellency, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this first Intersem Energy Forum, organized in cooperation with our close friends from the Cement Division of the Federation of Egyptian Industries. The subject of sustainable energy supplies is a matter of crucial importance to the Egyptian economy. Interruptions and insufficient supply provides real uncertainty in both the industrial and the consumer sector. In recent months, the government has given permission, the governments of President Sisi has given permission for the use of coal in cement production. But this is only a part of the mixture of fuels whereby a solution will be found. Other solutions, other fuels such as waste, biofuels and renewables will join together with the fuels that are already available to address the issue. Over the next 2 days, we will hear from experts in this field who will give us the benefits of their experience both here in North Africa and around the world. I would firstly like to introduce the chairman of the Cement Division of the Federation of Egyptian Industries, Metat Estefanos.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Minister of Environment, Dr. Khalid Fahmy, my colleagues, and all audience. First of all, I would advise our foreigner colleagues to prepare their translation set, because I will turn to Arabic language after a while. We are here today, and thanks for InterSim organization and Malcolm because of arranging this forum to discuss and to look for developing the energy mix of the cement industry in the country. I would turn to Arabic because I want my message to reach to the public opinion and to our media participants here, which is very important to understand and to know. In fact, الفحم ليس هو نهاية المطاف. احنا يعني يمكن خضنا في نقاش مرير لغاية لما كل الأطراف اقتنعت بأهميته، وهو ليس هدف في حد ذاته ولكنه تكئة لتحديث وتطوير منظومة الطاقة في صناعة الأسمنت. ولذلك هذا المؤتمر بيركز على استخدامات الطاقة البديلة، سواء طاقة المخلفات الصلبة والسائلة والمخلفات الصناعية وخلافه. واستطعنا ان احنا من خلال هذا المؤتمر نجتذب اكبر خبرات اجنبية في العالم في هذا المجال للمناقشة والتحاور والاستفادة من تجارب الدول الاخرى لتطبيق هذا في صناعة الأسمنت في مصر. عندنا نماذج في داخل الصناعة ابتدت أنها تستخدم الطاقة البديلة، والهدف بتاعنا من خلال المنظومة الجديدة للطاقة لمصانع الأسمنت أن احنا نوصل لنسبة طموحة من استخدام المخلفات كبديل للطاقة في صناعة الأسمنت في مصر. صناعة الأسمنت صناعة استراتيجية هامة، هي أحد تكئات التنمية في الاقتصاد المصري، وبتساهم بنسبة تصل إلى 2.8 من الناتج القومي الإجمالي كمساهمة مباشرة. وعن طريق صناعة الإنشاءات هي بتصل نسبة مساهمتها إلى أكثر من 22% من الناتج القومي الإجمالي، وده بيوضح قد إيه هي صناعة مهمة، والحفاظ عليها وعلى اقتصادياتها في حالة من الكفاءة والقدرة على المنافسة شيء ضروري ومهم للاقتصاد وللتنمية في مصر. أتمنى أنه التوصيات اللي نخرج بها من هذا المؤتمر، ودي هتكون توصيات في اتجاهين: اتجاه للدولة ممثلة في الحكومة، والاتجاه الآخر للصناعة نفسها، لأنه مستوى التطور في هذا الموضوع في الصناعة مش متوازي. يعني هناك شركات ومصانع عندها خبرة أكبر، وهناك مصانع أخرى في حاجة إلى نقل هذه الخبرة عن طريق الاستعانة بخبراء في هذا المجال. أتمنى لكم مؤتمر ناجح، وأتمنى أن التوصيات اللي نخرج بها من هذا المؤتمر تكون نافعة للصناعة ونافعة للاقتصاد المصري ومرضية للمجتمع ككل. وأتشرف أن أنا أقدم معالي الوزير الدكتور خالد فهمي لإلقاء كلمته. تفضل معالي.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, first of all, I would like to welcome all the honored attendees to Egypt and express my pleasure to participate in such an important event. My thanks also extended to the organizers and to the sponsors. We are gathered today to discuss and exchange experience to face the challenges and opportunities for a changing energy scenario. An energy scenario that will have its impact on the cement industry, not only in Egypt, but in the whole world. For the cement industry in Egypt, it is well known that this industry started early in the 20th century. It is considered a strategic industry due to its backward and forward linkages to the sectors of the Egyptian economy. But also, the cement industry is facing, is facing, and will be facing the issue of environmental compliance, especially with the new amended bylaws that was issued 2012. How are we approaching this issue? How is the Ministry of Environment approaching this issue? We believe that we can work together. Working together is the basis for reaching a consensus that secures economic development and safeguard the environment. So based on this, the last 6 months has demonstrated an intensive and extensive process of deliberation and negotiation with the cement industry on 3 lines. The first is how to comply with dust emissions that was stipulated as they were stipulated in the bylaws of 2012. And for that issue, we are preparing compliance action plan for all 24 companies and 43 production lines. And a month ago, we have visited some of the factories that have already implemented a substantial portion of these plans. And I must say, with success. It never happened in the history of the Ministry of Environment that we have stopped the operation of 13 production lines out of 17 production lines belonging to one of the cement factories. And this was done based on consensus, and it was done successfully, and we're working on completing this compliance action plan. We did this without any negative impacts on the environment, of course, and on the production. So it is a very hard balance to reach, but we can do it. We can do it if we can work together. The other line of action was, of course, hammering out. And I'm using the word hammering out. This was not, and it cannot be, a very easy negotiations. But we have hammered out the regulations and the norms that meets the international standards and fosters the use of best available technologies and still comply with all international, worldwide accepted environmental regulations. It needs to be presented to the cabinet, which we will do in the very near future, and then accordingly we will issue the regulations, the legal phrasing of what we have agreed and discussed. The third line of action, and this is a very important one, is the alternative fuel. This is why I am looking up to the recommendation of your gathering. Because as you know, alternative fuel, and I mean, you are all experts, but for the non-technical expert, we don't mean only waste, we mean all kinds of alternative fuels, and there is plenty of them that are not used, they are not properly collected, they are not properly disposed of, and we have serious environmental problems due to that. At the same time, they are source of energy. In a situation where Egypt is facing an energy challenge. So that's the third line that we are concentrating on. We would like to know, and we're working on this in the ministry, what are the policy reforms needed? I believe in policy reforms. And I believe if we put the right policy reforms, we will orient the industry in the right direction. So I believe that the government has an essential and important role in empowering and providing an environment a legal environment and a policy environment that can foster the use of alternative fuel. It is no secret that the compliance action plan, the use of coal, will be linked to the portion of the alternative fuel. That's no secret. And I guess all of you who attended our meetings have agreed on that. So I'm looking up to your recommendations, especially policy recommendations that will assure the establishment of an efficient and effective collection system and processing system for alternative fuels. Once again, I thank you for your invitation. I think it's better that I do not attend working session since I'm an expert, but now I'm in a policy or in a political position, so I must refer from technical discussions. But I'm looking up to your recommendations, and if we agree on them, we'll include them in our discussions in the cabinet. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very fruitful deliberation. Thank you.